Hello, my name is Kate Chadbourne, and I teach in the Bardic Academy, which is a school for writers and singers and musicians and creative people of all stripes. And today's video is part of a series that I've been making called Creative Hurts and How to Heal Them. And this is the fifth and I think the final video. And today I want to speak with you about futility. I think actually this may be the most important of the five. If you've ever heard yourself say, I just can't seem to get anywhere as an artist, or why bother? It doesn't matter very much to other people if I make my art or not. Or, artists just can't make it in the world today. The deck is stacked against the artist, especially the small independent artist. There's no way to get anywhere. Then this one is for you. And just to say, I have thought all of those things at times. So I recognize this is a real question that comes up, a real issue that comes up in our minds. In addition to just those questions, we have to contend with really the subjects of the other four videos. Rejection, comparison, mistakes, and criticism, right? So those are just part of doing business. Part of being a creating artist is contending with those things and recognizing that, yes, you've made a mistake in public and everyone saw it, or yes, you've been rejected when you had your hopes pinned on being accepted to a certain contest or whatever it was. All kinds of creative perils that face us. So we're not alone, of course. If you look at the annals of artists through the centuries, you'll see, of course, so many moving examples. For me, the one that comes to mind is John Keats. He was young. He died when he was 25. And around that time, even though he had written poems by that time that we now regard as some of the very finest in the English language, when he died, he really was already thinking about that perhaps he had better take up other business, that writing was not going to take him where he needed to go. He had been savagely criticized, really savagely criticized, and he was discouraged. So we're in company rather with some of the great poets and musicians and writers of all time. So how do we navigate this question of futility, of why does it matter, or should I even go on? And I think, in a nutshell, the most important shift we can make is from an outward-facing perspective, an outward-looking, an external perspective, to an inward-looking perspective. That is where the power lies. That is where the choice and the creativity lies. Outside, we will find, we will encounter rejection. We will encounter people who say it doesn't matter. We will certainly internalize those things and say them ourselves. But our hope lies in turning inward. The very first thing I think we can say to ourselves is, do I like how I feel when I create? Do I like who I am when I create? And I dare say for every single person watching this video, the answer will be yes. When you are creating, you are tapped into the most delicious, I call it the honey flow, the most delicious energy in the world. You're part of it. You're channeling it. You're working with it. And you feel mighty, don't you? That's the place to be. That, regardless of what happens from what you create or what someone says about what you create, that you can control, and that we should be loyal to, I think. It's our right to feel good. Even if no one ever reads another poem I write, I will write them all my days because I love how I feel when I write them, or sing songs, or make songs, whatever it is. So how you feel should be the first marker for yourself, I think. And that's, again, looking inward. Another thing that really strikes me is You know, Bronnie Ware is a writer who wrote about the top regrets, the 10 regrets of the dying. And probably one of the most important of those is people who are dying wish that they had lived for themselves. They wish that they had chosen to make of their lives what mattered to them, rather than taking input from other people who, even well-meaning other people, aren't living their lives, right? So we can't make that choice for another person. I believe that your art matters if you say it matters. Your life is about what you say matters. That is one of the, I think, one of the biggest lessons of becoming a free person, is deciding, I will say what matters. There may be other opinions about it, but I ultimately have to live this life. And I'm the one who decides what matters. You're the one who decides what matters for you. I also want to say, we create not to get somewhere. Sometimes we get somewhere. And believe me, I'm not saying that we shouldn't look outward and decide there's a particular reward that we'd like to achieve and go get it. I say yes, yes. If you want to make some money, you want to sell some records, you want to perform on a certain stage or publish in a certain book, wonderful, go for it. But ultimately, your life will be about who you became as you created, much more than about any individual achievement. I'm sure you've had those individual achievements. I have too, and they are thrilling and worthwhile, but they don't satisfy us for long. We have them, we experience them, and then we find that we're needing to create again, or we're needing to strive for something again, and that's good. That's a good thing. As we become the person who is a practicing artist, writer, whatever it is you are, we become stronger, we become braver, we become more loyal to the creative spark within us, to our own knowing about what matters. And consequently, we become quite inspiring, even if we're not singing in stadiums or household name. Nevertheless, the people around us are often very inspired to see, she's doing what she wants to do. Maybe I will too. Or he's made time to play music. Maybe I will too. And in doing so, I truly believe that we raise the quotient of joy in the world. And that alone is worth it. Now here is the woohoo. I also believe that a happy person, happily making art of whatever kind, also sends out waves of joy. In your neighborhood, in your home, in your whole community. It's worth it if it is bringing you that joy, if you are connected with the honey flow, making what you desire to make. You're making a difference in the world. You're a person who does not merely seem, but you are what you say you are. There's a lot of people who yearn to do things, but seem never to get themselves lined up to do them. You, on the other hand, are one of those who has remained loyal to your art, to your vision, and you're plowing ahead. You're making things year after year, and you're learning, and you're having fun. And it's worth it. This is the best thing in life. I think just actually being born an artist on planet Earth and getting to spend your days, there's no place to get. This is actually where we are. While you're making beautiful things, making things, exploring, you're an artist on planet Earth, and that's the reward. I wrote a poem one time that said, the reward for courage is courage. And truly, the reward for creating is living a creative life, and it's worth it. And finally, I'd just like to say that we also live in a world of mystery and surprise. and we never know what is going to happen. All kinds of new things could happen anytime. A new connection, a new idea, a new collaboration, a new way of doing things. And the only way we're in the flow of that new delicious thing is if we keep going. So stay in the game. If you're tempted to think that why bother, remember to go inside. Remember to see who you are when you're making your art. And if you like how you feel and you like who you are, keep going. Keep going. Thank you so much for tuning into these videos. Thank you so much for making your art. Thank you for sharing your inspiration with us. Truly, you make the world better. And I appreciate you. Thank you.